Has the experience of living through all this nonsense changed you? And if so, how?
It hasn't changed me, I would per se. I would say it makes you think about things differently. So I guess if it's changed anything, maybe just the way you think about things and the way you see certain things when it comes to like obviously society, people. I think people have to listen more, and I think people have to just pay attention to the small details a little bit more. Obviously, this has been a large thing for our society and our way of living. So we just have to learn to adapt and overcome. And I think if we do that, then yeah, you slowly change things, like obviously your routine and all that kind of stuff. But as a person, it hasn't changed me at all. I'm still who I am, but it makes me think a little bit more. It makes me take time to listen a little bit more, I think. So, and I think if we learned anything from this, that would probably be the best thing. So
how do you filter through the noise to really listen? Like, does that make sense? Because there's a lot of noise.
No, totally. There is a lot of noise. I really think that, obviously if you're on your phone, you see a bunch of, social media stuff, and you see the news and you see all that stuff. I think you really just have to listen to people. Really, I think you have to listen to stories and what people have to say, and get to know people on that front, and not what somebody posts on their Facebook or their Twitter. You know what I mean? Because anybody can do that, but if you just have conversations with people about, everything and anything, I think that's the way to listen from there. Like they said it a long time ago. It starts, you can take this whole thing when it comes to bands. You start small, you start in your local club, you start locally, right? So do that too. Start locally, and then just carry it on. Make the conversation bigger. And we live in a small world with all the internet and all the. Yeah. I mean, you and I are having this conversation on our phones, right? We're being able to see each other. So I think we just got to start there, and just carry on from there, and not listen to what the first thing that got posted on Twitter or Facebook or whatever news channel you watch or whatever. So I just think listening and talking to people.
I agree, and I think you hit it right on the head with the whole social media thing. I think because everybody's doing nothing because they're locked out, and so they're really into the phone, right? Do I still have you?
Yeah, you got
me. I thought I lost you. Sorry, I hit the wrong button. I think everybody's locked into their phones, and 8-10 hours a day. I mean, not us, but I know people who are like that, are just sitting home, like family members, whatever, just there, and that's all they're getting is half-ass fucked up news.
Yeah,
and that's what's. Yeah. You got to get off that phone, and you got to, like you said, get down and talk to people.
Yeah.
And maybe you can't with a 6-foot distance, but over the fence or whatever.
No, whatever. I mean, it's just a phone call. If you just get on the phone with people, it's just because you have it here doesn't mean you can't put it here, Right. So it's just, I think back to what you were saying, like, I think I got closer with family members, with like family members I hadn't talked to in a while. I think with this whole thing, and it just, and with obviously you were talking about the whole political atmosphere as well, you start to hear certain things that, your family members, that people that you consider close might be in it, have a disagreement about something politically or whatever. That doesn't mean that, that person isn't a part of your life anymore. You just have to find a way to talk about those things within reason. And yeah, I mean, certain people in my family have different views than what other parts of my family do.
But you're still family, and you can still talk.
Exactly. And and you just have to realize that everyone has a voice. Everyone can say and how they feel about whatever the topic they want to talk about. But you also have to respect the fact that somebody else has that same voice as well.
And everybody's voice is equal.
Exactly. That's exactly right. So, and I think I learned a lot of that. I think when that goes back to listening, I think that's where instead of always trying to have a word in, maybe just take your time to listen more and stuff like that. But yeah, I think that's what I learned a lot over this time, is to, be able to talk to, like I said, family I haven't talked to in a while, stuff like that. So I think I learned a lot on that.